Hi Courtney, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So I wanted to follow up with last session where we talked kind of about the stressors of school and feeling like, doing things later in life is falling behind and whatnot. Is there anything in particular, do you want to continue talking on that, or would you like to talk about something different?
Um, we can still talk about the school thing because, like, I'm definitely still having, like, I guess, imposter syndrome with everything. Even though one of the bigger stressors was the funding for school. Like, I actually was reapproved for another loan essentially through FAFSA to be able to cover school. So, like,
That's
I'm not
wonderful.
stressing about paying for school and going, do I have to like drop out and just give up on everything?
Yeah, it sounds like after getting reapproved, you're feeling more relieved. Is that correct?
I am feeling relieved in that sense, but now there's a new caveat.
Oh
So
no.
with school now, like I am like wanting to put like my whole focus in school, but then work came in this week with a new resident getting added to my group home that I work at. So now we
Mhm.
have four, and now I'm working uh almost 90 hours a week on top of, and I'm still considered part-time, by the way.
Ooh.
So like I don't get any of like the full-time benefits while working 90 hours a week,
Mhm.
and then trying to like put as much effort into school to like maintain my really high GPA because like I want to do well in school and I have like that drive back now that I'm not like, ah, I'm about to lose school. But I still feel like the imposter syndrome because of like, I don't know. I guess it's still like I'm gonna be 32 in 3 months, and I do have the aspirations of wanting to go for my PhD after this. But is it too late to start that kind of career path? So,
Okay. All right. So, when did you begin your education journey?
uh, I started the college journey back in 2013. The summer after I graduated high school was my first semester.
Okay.
And then I graduated in 2017 with two bachelors that I got in those 4 years. And then immediately went to my first master's that I got in about 11 months. And then I took a little bit of like a sabbatical because I felt like my brain was fried. Because
Yeah.
essentially doing all of like grade school, being in high school, and then immediately not even having a summer off going to college where I went to school year round. So I did spring, summer, fall semesters. So full education, no breaks. By the time 2018 came around, when I had my two bachelors and a master's, I was like, I need a break or I'm going to melt on the inside.
Yeah.
Um, and then from there, I don't know, I just kept wanting to go back, but couldn't find the motivation to go back until relatively recently.
Okay. So it sounds like, at least in that time when you were getting your master's and whatnot, you were, burnt out. Um, is
I
that
was
is that
really
right?
burnt out because my first semester I did four classes. My second semester I did five, which that's the semester that essentially fried my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last semester I only had three classes, which felt like absolutely nothing compared to like four and five classes. So
Mhm.
that's where like my momentum and drive for higher education slowly started dwindling.
Okay. So after, finishing your undergrad, getting two undergrad degrees, and, spending all this time, working towards your master's, you put a lot of energy and heart, I'm guessing, into
Yeah, because I
those
had
education.
I had a goal in mind that I wanted to meet, and I didn't. And so a lot of being the burnt out was I didn't meet that goal.
Mhm.
And that was to have a PhD before I turned 26. And now I'm here almost 32 working on yet another master's and still no PhD.
I think that's a like having a goal of getting a PhD was really important to you.
It is like it has always been like I always wanted to have either well it was never I never wanted an MD. I always wanted a PhD, but up
Hmm.
until recently I wasn't sure what I wanted the PhD in.
Okay.
Like I've been kind of like flip-flopping on where I wanted to end up academically and career-wise.
Okay. So, do you have like a new goal now?
I do have a new goal. I want to become a licensed counselor and
Okay.
then from there get my PhD so that way eventually I can open up my own practice.
Nice. Okay. So, um, if what is that when what PhD like subject would you be interested in doing like a dissertation on?
Um, I definitely want to do it in the realm of therapy, but
Mhm.
mostly in trauma-based therapy.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. Are you what do you have any steps that you can do to get closer to that goal?
Well, right now I am working on my master's in clinical mental health counseling. Um,
Okay.
from there, I want to talk to one of my academic advisors about how to get a PhD with all of that, since most of them are doctors in clinical mental health counseling or like
Mm-hmm.
some kind of therapy. And so, like, that's, I think, my next steps. But it's just getting over the fear of actually like reaching out to them to like ask what may be a very stupid question.
Okay. So, kind of like reviewing, like your journey so far. You had, you got through the undergrads, you got the masters, now you're working on your next masters. I think, you give yourself a little bit of credit, for getting that far, right? Do you feel that way?
No,
No, you should.
I could
um,
be better.
don't say that. Um, well, okay. So we're getting towards the end of our session now. So what would you like to talk about for next time?
Um, Definitely holding me accountable to actually going and doing the next steps of like understanding what comes after this degree so that way I'm not just like lost in limbo again, like how
Okay.
I was with my first master's.
Okay. Do
and
you
like
want,
setting up a goal list, I guess.
okay. Yeah, we could totally do that. Um, all right. See. Uh,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like crack you up with that.
Right, we definitely broke character towards the end.
it's okay though.
I'm sorry I broke
I'm
you.
still look. No, it's fine.
It is late, so I completely get it.
Yeah, I'm just you know, it's I feel for you because I was in a very similar boat, and it was definitely I definitely let my feelings kind of creep in there because I
Counter
wanted,
transference.
yeah, so um good thing we're still learning and practicing. So, mm. Any other feedback?
Um, I did feel like you could have paraphrased a little bit more. Like especially like when you did your questions, like you had some really good open-ended questions, but like you would be like, "Am I right?" or "Is that right?" Type of thing. I felt like it was kind of not really like forced, but like it was like I had to think about it for a second. I
Yeah.
think um you used really well. Um, as I'm using ums now as I say that. I'm getting tired. Uh,
Mhm.
but overall, though, your open-ended questions were good, and you did stumble towards the end. Because I could tell that you couldn't think of a question. You're like, oh, what kind of question do I ask now? She basically told me everything. Uh,
Yeah, I like thinking back on it now, I could have like asked about work because you did bring up work in the beginning. Um, but yeah, I kind of stumbled a little bit there towards the end.
it's okay, but like you said, we're still learning, and this is a definitely
Mhm.
a good learning adventure to have. So
Yeah. Oh, all right.
I think for another way to have gotten deeper would have been to ask like what motivated me to like get all
Mm-hmm.
of those degrees and get
Yeah.
my PhD by the time I was 26.
Okay.
Because like there are some nuances to like why that was my goal
Mm-hmm.
that could have helped you reach like a deeper understanding of where I was coming from with why this is such a stressor and like why I am feeling so much stress and anxiety about all of this with the imposter syndrome at my age now.
right. Mm.
But since we are working on we're just now working on getting to like a deeper understanding, that's just a
Mm-hmm.
little dot to think about.
Okay. I'm writing down motivation, putting a star by. Okay. All right. Good. All right.